like, honey, I don't know how to answer that question yet.
Go ask your mother.
I'll think about it, and then I'll come back to you.
Go ask your mother.
Even Sarah's like, Matt, how are you going to answer this? Like, how do we explain like other concepts too? Where like she's 8, and so she's also starting to like kind of question like, is magic real? Is like are special things like that like real? Like there's shows where she watches where she's like, and I think the next big one is like, is Santa Easter Bunny, is that real?
The Predator.
The Predator. Is the Predator real? And that's tough too, because she's starting.
Because for some reason she's seen the Predator.
She has watched this movie several times. Well, welcome back to another episode of Nostalgia Land.
Welcome back.
We're jumping in now today. We're going to do not Predator 1, not what do we call it? The good one. We're doing
Part 2.
Predator Part 2.
Predator
No, Predator 1 is the great one. Predator 2 is the good one.
Is the good one?
Yeah.
So you like this one? Just
this
out
one's
the gate.
fine.
Okay.
I don't like it as much as Predator 1, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Well, it's very entertaining.
Yeah. I think it was really strange, like that it was made in 92. Is that right? 90. But they put it in 97, which I'm like, why? What purpose did that serve on that?
Get a little bit away from, because the Predator's supposed to run on a 10-year cycle. They're supposed to hunt every 10 years.
Is that right?
That's the lore.
I didn't realize that was the lore. I didn't realize that. I didn't know anything about the Predator lore.
They hunt in the heat, extreme heat, and conflict.
Okay.
And they come hunting. They come a-hunting.
That's why they keep showing up, and it's like Central America jungle.
And now
the jungle of LA.
Well, LA during a record heat wave. It was like 108.
And a gang war between the Jamaicans and the Colombians.
The Jamaican voodoo,
not just,
which fun fact, that was based on a real gang that was terrorizing like New York and Kansas City.
Kansas City, I read that, and I was like, "What gang in Kansas City, dude? Like, are they just like
Kansas City's a dangerous place,
bro?" I didn't know that. I grew up going there, and then I lived there for 3 years.
Well,
and people were like, "Yeah, there's still the mafia." And I'm like,
you made
where?
it.
No one's on the streets. No, that's the thing. Like, you go to downtown Kansas City, no one's outside.
You ever seen the show Justified?
Yes,
they talk about the Kansas City mob
a lot.
How it's like real.
Because there was one in Ozark where they're talking about like the Kansas City mob and that too, and I was like, hold up, like I have never encountered anyone near, but people like all the locals are like, oh yeah, don't go to this place, don't go to that place.
They're the mob, the Dixie Mafia.
I wouldn't even know where to find it though. They're like, don't go to this steakhouse.
That's the problem. That's the problem. You don't find the mafia. The mafia finds you.
And I'm not picking a fight with the mafia. I just don't know where you are.
Don't go to this
I don't think they're
place.
going to listen to this.
Okay. I mean, stranger
we
things.
hope that they do.
Yes.
Yeah, but probably not.
Would love the support.
Hit that subscribe button if you
maybe they heard my impressions.
$40 for pizza.
$40.
Even they're like, yeah, that's crazy amount for pizza.
That's too much.
Can't be paying
This guy
that much.
over here
Can't be paying $40
doing
for
it.
pizza.
Arnold Schwarzenegger sounded like this. It's crazy.
I had to think about it. I was like, not to be insulting in Kansas City.
That
I
might-
love Kansas City, but it's like, where did they meet? Like the Golden Corral? Like, where's somewhere I didn't go and I don't know where they
It was
were?
a Morton's.
Papa Giorgio's.
Yeah, it's an Outback.
It's just the
It's a
Outback.
steakhouse.
Oh, there's a place called, you ever heard of Cheddar's? You ever heard of
Cheddar's is so good.
It is, but when you get there, is there not a disconnect between the name Cheddar's and then what the actual restaurant is?
I don't care. They give you so much food.
Bro, it's delicious. Cheddar's is amazing. That's not the problem.
I ordered a chicken wrap there expecting to get like one little wrap. It was like 4. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it's huge.
Look at all this food.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's like you get there and you're like, Cheddar. Like they were like, oh yeah, let's go to Cheddar's. It's really nice. And I was like, Cheddar's? Like Chuck E. Cheese's? Or what are we going to here? I was just expecting everything to be like fried cheese or something like on top of it. No, it is a super like wonderfully nice restaurant. Definitely it's worth a try if you're ever out in the Midwest and stuff. You see a Cheddar's.
Orlando.
Stop. There's one in Orlando. So if you're ever in Orlando, give it a stop. Also, there's a big old mouse there and a couple of rides I've heard. So you might want to check that out too. I don't know. On your own time. Anyway, so he shows up. Not only does the Predator show up in the heat.
We'll do that in the next episode. Sorry. I didn't want to forget it, so I'm glad you mentioned that, and I got excited.
I mentioned
it's too early.
Orlando. But not only does he show up in the heat, but he shows up in the heat because there's the conflict between the Colombians
And the
Jamaicans.
Yeah.
And the beginning of the movie is the Colombians and the cops.
Yeah.
They shoot 2 motorcycle cops, and they're in like the craziest shootout. They have like a Call of Duty weapons locker
Dude,
like
it was
behind them, where it's like
unreal.
choose your loadout. This guy comes up with like a grenade launcher or the thumper from Call of Duty. Boonk.
Yeah, that's right. Taking
Starts
out cop
blowing out
of
cars
there.
and stuff.
Oh my gosh, dude! And,
And his name's El Scorpio,
a Scorpio. Yeah, you're not
like
ready
a
for him.
Scorpio is ready.
and he's got like the 9 silver teeth back here.
He's an awesome character.
You know what that made me think of was Bonesaw is ready. That's what I
Yeah,
thought.
except they ripped it off from El Scorpio.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Because he came first.
That's true.
Oh, they took his campaign. They took his brand. That's his
But-
whole thing.
Seriously.
Danny Glover comes in as, he replaces Arnold and my gosh.
You don't want to look it up?
No,
Oh.
the guy
Carl
Carl
Weathers?
Weathers. Rest in peace.
Carl Weathers.
Well, he replaces Arnold.
Yeah,
Because Arnold
as
was
the-
the focus of the
As
first
the
movie.
big hero. As
Yeah.
the big macho hero.
They tried to get Arnold to come back, but
I heard that. Yeah.
in the end, it was I think it was money.
and
he
scheduling. Wasn't he
No.
shooting Terminator?
He got offered Terminator 2 and went with Terminator 2, which I mean, what a genius! But he read the script and wasn't a huge fan because he wasn't the Danny Glover character.
Oh, okay.
He
was.
was
the side
he
guy.
was the Gary Busey character, and it was written completely differently.
He's laughing.
Yeah, Busey. He was not like the same. He would come in as Dutch. He would play the character from the
okay.
first movie.
Yes.
that would help hunt down.
He's
the
like
predator.
he's in the know guy. So
Yeah.
he's in the. But
Then they
basically-
reference it. They reference
Yeah.
that they know.
Yeah,
like
but this-
Gary Busey's
This was like
character
pre-crazy Gary Busey though. This was like
does.
Chet-
No.
This
This
was-
was immediately crazy.
crazy gear.
He had his motorcycle accident a year before where he suffered like severe brain damage, and that's why
that what
Gary
did it?
Busey is the way he is. Yeah.
Yeah, but
that's what
he had
did it?
another.
Yeah.
He had another good role after this though, because he plays Chet
No.
Stedman.
He has good roles.
Yeah, Gary
he is
Busey's
just
great.
a crazy person.
No, he is just insane. Like I mean,
Fear.
I love Gary Busey.
Fear. False
Fear.
expectations appearing real.
Yeah. Okay.
That's like a Gary Busey saying.
I like what's buttered sausage? What does it do? Why does it taste the way it tastes?
No, there's that clip I
I
just saw
thought you
recently.
were just saying you like butt.
You just like butt sausage.
I was so confused.
What am I, Sir Mix-a-Lot?
You're like this.
I like butt.
But
Turd sausage.
Buttered sausage. What is it doing? Why
this
is it
became
there?
Confessions with Trey.
Let's go back to problems with Trey.
Me.
Me. No, but
gosh,
Danny
dude.
Glover comes in and just has the solution to everything.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
Which also would have gotten him killed in like a second.
100%. This guy drives like an Oldsmobile with 2 bulletproof vests and no door.
Yeah. No. And he's like hanging out the side of it too.
With why does every police officer have like the Magnum from Resident Evil 2?
That thing is
like,
ridiculous.
With like the 9-inch laser and the sniper scope.
I love
a
that
scope.
all the weapons in the movie that like the cops are holding and everything.
Yeah.
That's how they're futuristic. Like they're in 1997.
They have a
so it's
laser.
like they all have lasers on their rails.
Which you
and it's
never,
like,
you
this
never
looks
see.
retarded.
You never see a laser. You never
Oh, yeah.
see it.
No,
Yeah.
he never
They
gets
never
to use
turn it on.
It's never dark enough for it. It's more
Well,
like
the
I guess
subway scene.
In the subway, he could have, but
Oh,
like
let's
that
not
was
talk about that yet. We'll
Dude,
get to
okay.
that subway.
Well,
scene.
just a quick synopsis
Yeah.
of this movie. It is just strictly the Predator shows up in LA and just wreaks havoc, and there's a cop involved.
He's
and
hunting.
He's hunting. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. And then the cop and him have the big showdown. But what I liked at the beginning, what I did like about the movie, is how the Predator was like drawing a parallel of like, oh, Danny Glover, right? I'm not Donald Glover. Donald Glover's the young guy.
Right.
Right. Okay. Danny Glover, who's way too old for this shit, like 10 years
That's
ago.
a good. That's a
You know,
good.
he's 41
In
when he
that
was
movie?
when he was way too old for this shit.
I was like, in that movie, really?
Dude.
Yeah.
In Lethal Weapon,
That's
he's
the
41.
41.
It's creeping
which
up
came
on
out
all of
before
us.
this movie.
Yes.
Oh shit, he don't look 41 in Predator 2.
No, dude.
No.
He don't look way too old for this.
Dude, I'm about to be way too old for this shit.
It's all right. We're not fighting. We're not fighting gang
man.
wars here. We're just talking
You're
about
taking
movies.
care of yourself, though.
Yeah.
You're working out.
Let's
you're
ask my
losing it.
let's ask my doctor what he thinks about that.
That's
Oh,
it. It's a
there's-
HIPAA
it's-
violation. Don't ask his
I
doctor.
don't ask the doctor.
I'll give him permission.
Every doctor,
all right.
though, and no doctor's happy with any of their patients. I'm just, no one's like, oh, you're perfect. No, there's always something to work on. That's like, well, you could be like, you could have the best teeth, and anytime you go to the dentist, they're like, you're a terrible person. You should just like feel bad about yourself for the next 3 hours. Do you know how to floss? It goes between the teeth and then comes out. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of dental work recently, and so it's kind of a hot topic for me. Okay,
It's a button.
Refocus.
But
Anyways,
they
they draw that parallel
So yeah, but then Danny Glover basically one man bans this gang war and pushes them back into this building, and they retreat into the Call of Duty weapons locker, and they're basically gonna hold up like they're in the Alamo.
Bro, he comes blazing in there like a mom trying to get to the front of the carpool.
Well, that's the
lane,
thing.
dude.
He's told not to go in the building. Like, oh, there's federal units coming, like the DEA, and don't go in the building. And he's like, yeah, we didn't hear that. He just like runs into the building.
That's like his favorite line. We didn't hear that.
Yeah, that's later with the
penthouse scene.
Yeah, that's the penthouse scene.
Yeah.
But anyway, he ignores orders and just runs in the building.
Yeah,
and they get to the floor and they're all dead.
Yeah,
and it's because the Predator has jumped in and killed all of them.
Yeah,
and it's like alluded to when you see the Predator. He sees in infrared. He sees in thermal.
Yeah,
and basically anybody holding a weapon, he'll kill them because he sees them as like an adversary. Like
those are the rules.
Like I think those are the rules.
Like if you're at the baseball game, you pick up a bat. I'm going to assume you're playing.
I'm pitching to
you're
you.
pitching. Yeah, I'm throwing to you as hard as I can.
yeah. If you got a glove on, you better be ready.
Yeah, if your spine comes out, it's your fault. It's on you. You didn't. You should put it down.
There are things that
down.
don't make sense though.
Yeah,
like with the rules and like
yeah.
with who the Predator is supposed to be, and because later we'll get there, but yeah. So the last one, El Scorpio, runs up onto the roof because he's the one fleeing from the Predator. we got to mention the guy that does all the cocaine when they run up there. There's literally like a mount. He does like the Scarface where he sticks his whole face in and just breathes deep. Yeah. And he comes up like, and then gets killed like immediately.
It was like a handful of cocaine. Like he like reaches in this bag and just like.
Yeah.
Is that just mixes well?
Like
I'm assuming. Like that's just like
well, and then not only does he do that, but he like rubs it in his bullet wound.
Oh yeah.
That'll get you going. I'll wake you up in the morning.
What on earth?
Breakfast of Champions.
It's funny, like if they kept going that with like a bit that there's just cocaine hidden everywhere. Like they just like open up.
Sure, there was.
They filled up like the fire extinguisher with cocaine and they're just spraying it over each other. And they're like, ah! And like one guy with like a fanny pack comes over. And he's like, "You want a little extra?"
That's why Danny Glover talks so weird through this whole movie.
Danny Glover is always like,
is his voice always like that in every movie?
Yeah, because even in like Angels in the Outfield, he's like, "It does start at 1."
See,
I guess
you're a jackass.
I guess it feels like he overdoes it. Sometimes. In this movie, like most of this movie, he's yelling.
Yeah.
So it's very overdone. Yeah. And then like the dramatic lines, he's laying like an extra level of drama onto it.
Drama.
Yeah, I was trying to say drama, but it came out wrong.
He put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
I did. But then El Scorpio goes up onto the roof, and Danny Glover follows him up. But El Scorpio has seen the devil, seen the Predator,
seen it.
Yeah. So
he's not about it.
Yeah, in the camo stage, and, in the camouflage stage, and Danny Glover's telling him to put the guns down and everything, and then he sees the Predator. Yeah. And he goes to shoot at it, and Danny Glover unloads on him.
Yeah,
and,
he like raises his guns. And
to shoot at the Predator. Yeah. And Danny Glover unloads on him. And we get the cheesiest moment of the whole movie where a full-grown man with holding weapons and ammunition and everything falls like 20 stories down.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Onto like a craft services table.
Thank you.
And then it doesn't break.
Yeah.
No.
He just lands on like a folding table, and it's just like,
yeah, dude.
No, it's like a picnic table.
Yeah,
it's like a red checkered picnic table.
Mick Foley fell off Hell in the Cell and broke the announce table. You're telling me that this guy can't break a picnic table?
From like 30 stories up. You're right, he does.
What's it made out of steel? And not only that, like the table doesn't break, and you get a close up of that guy, he's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all right.
He could like get up and
must
walk
have been
off.
internal injuries
Shouldn't
because
have
it
gone close
wasn't
up.
external.
I'll go again. Can we go again?
Shouldn't have gone close up.
Yeah, throw me up on the roof again. No, but like he's right. It's like he lands on like the back lot crafts table.
No, you remember the tables you sat at in lunch? That's what he landed on.
That's what he landed on. And it has like the... But I'm like, what is this doing in downtown L.A.
Well, they
in
were
the middle
like,
of a firefight?
Well, no, they were in like a market area because the guy, I swear, they made sure you knew that this movie was rated R in like the first 30 I think they cuss in like 3 languages.
Yeah, they did.
They cuss in like Creole, they cuss in Spanish, and they cuss in English.
Right out the gate. You need to strap in. Buckle up, because here we go. Danny Glover's coming. He's like, his like first line is like, what the fuck are we doing here? Yeah. And then he just bolts through in that big grody ass Cadillac.
Well, even the extras are cussing. Like the guys, like they destroyed everything. My shop, my food, and then he's like screaming in Spanish, like "F you," blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, man,
because it's 1997
Yeah, I
and the
mean-
world has gone to like
Yeah, LA
absolute
is just.
LA's gone
I
to
mean, they were a
shit.
little ahead of their time. But
oh, dude, we're gonna get in trouble with one of these.
so the actually NC-17 the rating came out
because of this movie.
I don't know if it was because of it, but right at the time that they were going to rate this movie, and they slapped an NC-17 on it, and they had to go back and pick out little, and it was from what the director was saying, it was weird stuff like you held on the hanging bodies too long.
Yeah.
So they would cut away a little bit earlier.
yeah.
There was nothing like substantial.
It wasn't.
and they
but
were like,
It wasn't the next scene where they cut to the Colombian warlord having like a full
yeah.
on sex
Where I
scene in
gotta-
the
I
penthouse.
got a side
Well,
story
first-
about that. We'll get to
First,
that.
you got Robert Davi making his
yeah.
appearance.
Yeah.
You know, one of the Fratelli brothers
Yeah,
from,
one of the
from
Fratellis.
the Goonies is
the opera
like,
singer.
Oh,
That's him.
yeah. Yes.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
like
yeah.
the deputy chief or whatever that
Yes,
is pissed at him, who brought him in to.
Can't have these cowboy antics here.
I went out. I put my neck out for you to get you here. You could give me some common courtesy or some whatever. He screams at him.
You in full country.
Basically telling him like chill out, and then he explains to him that there's a group from the feds coming to take over this case, and he needs to
Yeah.
back down and let them do their
Cooperation.
thing, which is like every 80s cop procedural
cop.
drama
Yes.
where it's like
Always.
you need to back down. I'm not backing down.
I mean, it's a plot of Bad Boys.
Exactly. it's every like
It's every buddy cop movie.
yeah, exactly.
There's angels out there. I saw them. Now I'm going to go adopt a kid.
In the outfit. If you do this,
I might do 2 of them. Yeah.
We gotta do that movie.
yeah, we'll get
Angels
there.
in the
We'll get there.
Well, so 2 things that you're talking about. So you mentioned Gary Busey.
You get
then-
Gary Busey who comes in and basically
Well, they
tries
just land a helicopter
Yeah.
like a big steel helicopter, like,
right,
it's like
right
a silver
on
bullet.
right on an LA street.
Main street,
People
dude.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And
No
they
worries.
basically
No.
take over their crime scene because they know about the predator. They know about
But at this point, you don't know who they are.
Right.
You're just very confused. Like, what's this? What's the
It's
deal?
a secret predator. But Gary
And that's
Busey.
like they're federal. They're from the DEA.
Okay.
So this is how they
The-
fight
yeah.
drug crime is with helicopters.
It's 1997.
Yeah, they need to
it's
get there
the
quick.
future. Yeah.
well, and
You know,
one of the
you
things
know,
that makes them think it's the Jamaican gang is because they find a Colombian cartel member hung up by his ankles and he like is missing skin. He's not fully because I guess the predator like didn't have time.
Well, the predator. If you go back and you watch the scene, the predator didn't have time to do any of that.
Yeah, dude.
It literally fights and kills all the guys, blows everybody up,
And then just
goes up and takes a Scorpio off the roof. There are cops.
No, but didn't he snare trap that guy? Like he goes into the room to grab a gun and his foot gets caught and he gets snare trapped.
Yeah, but like any other stuff that he
Oh,
would
yeah.
have done with him.
Yeah.
But then one of the
Danny.
Danny
Boy.
one of the group says to them, he's like, guy weighs 195 pounds and just
He's like 30 feet in the air.
30 feet
He's
off
like,
the ground.
I don't
He's
think
like,
you can
even you couldn't do that.
You couldn't carry him up those stairs.
How big is Danny Glover?
6'3".
Oh, okay. So
Big
he's
boy.
a
Big guy.
He's
he
a
can handle it.
he's an NBA shooting guard. Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, and for being too old for this shit, like, they did that scene where he gets changed. You're like, bro, Danny still had it, man.
Yeah,
like,
for
he
sure.
looked thick.
Yeah,
He
he's a
looked
big
all right.
dude. Oh, thick.
I mean, a little thickens. with the
Tyrone Thickums.
double C, capital K. buddy.
Okay.
So they go and they have the scene where Gary Busey comes in as the federal agent and he talks to him like,
as crazy as that dude is,
good actor, man.
I
love
love
Gary Busey.
Gary Busey, man.
I honestly, just for Gary
It makes
Busey,
you feel
They
bad.
did like a whole behind the scenes thing with the movie where they interviewed a bunch of them and everything, and they have Gary Busey like in the background of these shots where they're interviewing the lady, the Leona, and
yeah.
Gary
one of the
Busey,
detectives.
in an earlier interview with just him, he says all this stuff about her, and it's classic Gary. You have to find it on like YouTube. It's classic Gary Busey where he is making no sense. He's saying she loves garlic, and that's why the creature loves her. He's like in character.
Yeah.
And then it's
What,
like
is she a vampire?
yeah, it's like later on the she's being interviewed and then she's like, oh look, Gary's here, and they're like, and he repeats the shit about her loving garlic and whatever else. It's like, okay, so he's crazy, like round the clock crazy.
No,
like
this
isn't a show or
you can't turn it off.
You got to dry up your upper lip there.
Exactly. Fire Marshal Bill style.
You just get in that style. You just be like, she loves garlic.
Dude,
That's why
now-
you know why? It's seasoning for the predator to eat her. And that's
Now
exactly why she's doing it.
those eyes, man. Like today,
My favorite thing
one
that
of
he's
them's,
done recently is
sunken
he's like,
in, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they're real, And he's on some clip. I think it's the same clip that you saw. But at the end of it, he goes, "You got to figure out how to eat burritos backwards."
Yeah.
And I thought about it. I was like, "What
is
genius
this deep fake?
is this?" Like, he's existing. He's on another plane.
He's
dude.
in the astral plane.
Because I was like, hold on, that's a stupid. Wait, no, that's brilliant. Actually, you gotta learn to eat burritos backwards. And it's just like this Gary Busey, please, just a whole movie where we just watch you for like an hour and a half. I'll take an hour and a half just Busey.
Yeah.
We just follow him around.
The realest reality show ever.
Yeah, for a day. Just follow him around. It's just whatever he wants
You
to
just
do.
got to go into public.
Yeah.
Gary.
Don't. Or I mean, even him in private. Don't you feel like he's the guy? He's sitting in his chair. He's like, yeah, she loves garlic and eating burritos. And we're gonna
Probably.
take a
Poor
deep
guy,
dive
man.
before- I mean,
All because he bounced his head off the concrete going like 80 miles an
I mean,
hour.
you do that once or twice. You
do that once, you're lucky to walk away from
That's the
it.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
But hey, he's had a good life.
Man, I mean, and I love him and everything he's in.
it's true.
He's great.
It's true.
Anytime any movie's like Gary Busey's on the payroll, I was like, count me in, dude. 'Cause
Count me in.
I'm all for
I'm
it.
ready.
Yeah.
But you were getting to the scene.
Yeah, so he basically comes in and he's very like cordial with Danny Glover. Like, look, I
he's
know
professional.
I know this is your turf, but we need to be working together because we have things that we need to take care of, and we've been given our orders.
Oh, this is right when you meet the wettest noodle in the movie, in my opinion,
which is the
captain,
rookie,
the
oh,
captain.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's just like he feels like he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah,
Like,
Captain.
So all of the
I'll
characters
tell
in
you-
the
hang on,
whole
I'll tell
movies are way over the top.
Yeah.
like their lines are over the top. This is right when you meet Bill Paxton's character, their Lone Ranger.
That's hardest time with him.
Who is hysterical in this movie? Which you get the scene with Leona where he goes up to her and he starts telling her a story,
Right.
and she grabs him by the junk and tells him, like, if you pull that Lone Ranger crap with me, you're gonna lose this.
Yeah.
And basically is like telling him to stop flirting with her.
Yeah.
But when you go back and you watch it, he's not flirting with her at all. He's just telling her
Trying to
a
tell her a story about him arresting
Yeah.
somebody.
And it's like, dude, this guy's all about himself. Like, he just wants to hear himself talk.
I love how he's like, that's my specialty. Like, that's my thing.
Everything is his specialty.
Everything is what he does. And
Yeah.
you're just like, there are so many of those lines where they're just kind of like feed me lines like, hey, like we know, like we're here. Why are you saying that? Like when he's like, when in the very beginning and they're all like kind of huddled together in their first, like, these are the hero shot. Like, and they're all looking at like where the gunmen are. And each one of them says something like, this is really tough. Oh, we're really pinned down. And he's like, yeah, dude, what? Like, we're all here.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine.
Then you get the Morton Downey Jr. like
Oh yeah,
reporter that we never dude, how over the top
What's
is
it
that,
called? What's his thing called?
hardcore.
Hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that guy was like Jerry Springer before Jerry Springer.
He's TMZ before TMZ.
yeah.
Or early Fox.
And then he was Juicy Smoulier before Juicy Smoulier.
Yay.
Do you know that's what ended up happening to him? He said that he was attacked by Nazis, neo-Nazis in a hotel or restroom, and they painted a swastika on his face, and he had like a swastika on his face, and he was bleeding and all this stuff. And it turned out that it was all fake. It was all for publicity.
Very French.
that
very
And that's
French
like
actor.
where he disappeared, like in real life.
Who played that? Wait, Wait, hold on.
Juicy.
Morton Downey Jr., the guy that played.
Okay. Okay.
He had a TV show that was like Jerry Springer before Jerry Springer.
Oh, you see, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was like the original like shock person,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. Go
Daytime-
look it up. It's ridiculous.
Daytime shock TV.
Kent McCord is the name of the actor who plays the captain.
Yeah. So Kent McCord. I mean, and it's not the worst. He doesn't do the worst
just
stuff.
very
It's just
dry
he
delivery.
doesn't fit with the rest of the character. Yeah, it is. That's exactly what it is. It's a wet noodle style, like where it's like, give me a little bit.
Everybody else is very over the top.
Let me
like,
feel you.
Yeah.
Like, we
Be in the
gotta kill
moment.
this thing, and he's just like, I need you to stop
Yeah.
doing what you're doing. all right?
You gotta slow down.
And then Danny Glover's response is, "You're cutting my dick off and shoving it up my ass."
There was
And he's
so
like,
many
I
comments.
was wondering if you were going to say that.
Like, what?
But that's my favorite quote in the entire movie.
There was like
Time out,
literally,
Danny.
there was like 4 lines
I'm
that
going to need
were,
at least a 30-second.
dude, technical foul on that one because
Time
like
out.
there was like 4 lines that were about chopping something off and shoving it up
In an
someone's
orifice.
ass. Like in an orifice, yeah. Each time
To
I was
be
like,
named later.
bro, who wrote this? I was like, to be named later. Like,
It would have been funnier if he said that. You're chopping it off, and you're going to put it somewhere to be named later.
To be
to be
named
named
later.
later. Oh god.
Like it's a baseball
Yeah.
trade or something.
So it's a big opening. It is. You know what you're getting into.
And this
you
movie
notice-
has a Baldwin brother.
It does.
Adam,
yes.
probably the
Adam
best of the
Baldwin.
Baldwins, in my opinion.
Is he like the sidekick to
He's
Gary
like
Busey?
the
He's
bouncer
Gary
to
Busey's
Gary
sidekick,
Busey. He's
yeah.
his Robin.
He's like, I'll
Wow,
take
that's
care
a
of him.
Baldwin.
That's a
Yeah, it's
Baldwin.
Adam
dude.
Baldwin.
They come
He's
in all
also-
shapes and
Yeah, there's
sizes.
like 7
bro.
of them, right?
He's
They're like
in
Skittles.
He's in like the
They're
Patriot.
all those are
he's
uniforms,
in
just different colors.
he's in Full Metal Jacket.
What are we liking? Gummy
Like
bears?
trail mix.
Trail mix. Trail mix is a good one. Let's do trail mix.
He's in Firefly. He's in Chuck. That's
he
a
is
good
in
show.
Firefly. Firefly is an amazing show,
And he's good in Chuck.
Yeah, and he is.
He
good
plays
in
a
Chuck, yeah.
NSA agent in Chuck. He's
Love that
really
thing.
good in that. But
never
that's like
watched Chuck.
his.
I should watch
That's his niche, being like the super serious
Is it
like
niche or
soldier
niche?
niche. Yeah, sorry.
No, which one is it?
I think it's niche.
Is it or is it like
niche.
tomato tomato?
Eh,
Let's call the whole thing off.
I'm not a linguist.
That's his.
Right on.
That's his zone.
Go with niche. Go with niche. That's fine.
his
I was
red
asking,
zone.
legitimately asking.
This guy can go with baseball analogies and all those angels in that field, man. He's
But
that's
he's-
his mound.
Very adept
Oh.
at playing the super by the book guy. Like
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is what we have to do.
I think in this movie though, if they had given him too many lines,
it would have ruined
he would
it.
have been the wet noodle.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Because you get like when he
In a
talks
way.
in certain moments, I'm like, okay, so either he's completely inept, which he is. His
Yeah.
character is inept. Like when they're trying to trap the predator later, it's like, hello,
Dude.
McFly.
Dude, work on it. Like, do
Dude,
something.
Like this,
Hello.
things are going south quick.
Hello,
Thank you.
McFly.
Someone's got to do something here.
I'm gonna put your mic way to the right. So that's gonna freak someone out while they're driving. Is there something wrong with my car? It's a knocking sound.
But anyway, then it cuts after that to the next predator
Wait,
attack.
before we move on,
Okay.
we have to talk about the fact that when they arrive to the police station, there is a line around the block.
What?
And I'm thinking to myself, who are these people? Why do they need to go to the police station so badly?
Yeah.
Who the hell would wait in line
Is
to
it
go
to-
to the police station?
Is it to like report a crime?
I don't
that they've
understand.
seen? Like,
None of them are in handcuffs, and they're getting in fights, and
It's
the
the-
cops are having to like jump in.
it's the most. It's worse than the post office. It is.
It makes
it is
no
the
sense.
most
And then you
chaotic.
get the, ma'am, if your cable goes out, call the cable company, not
Yeah.
the police.
Maybe that's just it. Maybe like in 1997 LA, nobody knows who to call.
And I think that it might have been the Nostalgia Critic that I was watching, where he was talking about how like, and everybody had to be drenched and like poured buckets of water on.
just
Is it
sweat.
supposed
And then
to
he
be
goes,
like
and then he goes,
108
except for Bill Paxton, he brought his own sweat. He's a professional. I was like, that was funny. That was really awesome.
Yeah, Bill does
But-
look like he works up a good
Yeah.
little perspiration.
Well, and they're all
around.
wearing like jackets and stuff.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, dude, take your jacket off.
Yeah.
This was and
You
this
could
was
look
before,
professional without a jacket.
This was before him doing Twister, right? Because that's
Yeah.
like the first,
Yeah.
and definitely
Love that
before
movie.
Titanic. Except Titanic was 97
Right.
with Bill,
This was in the future.
This was
but
in-
this is the future.
I was going to
Right.
say, that's
Future
the
Bill.
real 90s.
the real 90s.
not the Alien Predator 2.
So that's just the beginning of this movie, and I feel like the rest of the movie is just slaughter after slaughter, and it's some cool
It's
death
got a
scenes
good
and
pace
stuff
to
like
it.
that.
It doesn't
Well,
really
yeah.
slow down.
So the issue with this movie, the biggest issue
Okay,
I think,
that's what I wanted to ask you.
is
Tell me points.
the plot
get-
disappears rather rapidly, where it's like, okay, so he's hunting Danny Glover,
Right.
but why?
I think the idea is
because of the first scene where he rode the car in and he like did some badass stuff.
Because the predator focuses on him, and
Yeah.
he sees like, oh, this guy just killed 4 other people,
Right.
So he's like,
Okay.
it's kind of like going after the biggest game.
So he kills. So then, why does he go in and kill the Jamaicans
So
in the next scene? Like, and then okay, so then he does that, and then he kills more people that it kind of loses the forest for the trees just to like have kills.
Yeah.
And then it breaks into like Danny Glover and him doing their dance at the end, where it just kind of like feels disconjointed and you're very confused by what's happening and what the story is and what's going on.
It felt like they couldn't decide who's going to do the big showdown. Is it going to be Gary Busey and his team, or is it going to be Danny Glover? Yeah. And then they just decided to kind of mesh them together, like kind of really just haphazardly at the end. And it's like, well, dude, like if they're watching anything, if they're paying attention to anything, they should notice like wherever Danny Glover seems to show up, this thing shows up too, pretty often.
I was reading like trivia for it, and one of the explanations they give is that he's like trying to draw him out. So he's following him and he's translating it. Like it cuts to his mask and you see like the voices, like the sound waves, and then it translates it. And one of the explanations I was given by somebody is that he's killing people that Hannigan is going after, so that it's like killing his leads, and all roads lead back to the Predator. Like, you have to fight me now.
Okay, yeah.
They could have totally done a better job explaining that. Like, that does make sense.
But that would be great if it was more like if the main plot line was Harrigan was going after. He's like, okay, after this fight, we're gonna go after the Jamaicans, and we're going after them, and then before he gets there. He mentions it.
There's very subtle things. Again, I had to read a lot to find this. This wasn't evident in the movie. Right. So in the next scene, when they kill the Colombian boss, they string him up and they're going to cut his heart out because he's like, I'm not just supposed to kill you. I'm supposed to take your soul. Yeah. And those are all bouncers, by the way. The actors that they got are real life club bouncers, because the director thought they'd be intimidating and they would die like hilariously. Yeah. So that's what he wanted, was the over the top.
Well, it's really funny because in that scene where they break in with like you were talking about, the weirdest sex scene in the whole world. Like,
with your wife sitting next to you on the couch watching this movie, that gets really weird. Really,
what is it like? Is she on a pogo stick? What's going on in this? Okay. What is going on?
She's riding it like it's the last horse out of Dodge, right there.
And she did all the cocaine,
all of it. And I got a side quest.
Well, that makes sense.
A little side story on that.
Colombian Bam Bam.
All right, so this scene like hit me not because it was just a naked woman going crazy on this other dude. But it brought back a huge flashback for me where I was like, oh my gosh, that's what this movie was. So back in the day when I was living in that house on Segovia, we had just gotten the big new projection TV. And
I don't like where this is going.
We got cable. We got cable, and we got surround sound in that room.
And Predator 2 was on.
My dad loved putting on the movies and being like, oh, like listen to this. And he would crank up that surround sound to like 3/4 of the way. It's loud. I get home one night, I think from your house, I think from this room, and I'm like, well, I'm not really tired right now, and I bought food on the way home, so I sat down on the couch, I turn on the TV, I don't notice that the surround sound is on, and it's that scene with the camera flying in and her like screaming, and it's on the surround sound blowing up, and I didn't like. I dropped the remote. I was like because it was so loud, and her voice comes in. So like and then my dad's like, "What are you watching out here?" And I was like, "Why is this on so loud?"
Predator.
It was like, it's Predator 2. It's just you've seen this.
Give it 5 minutes. Give it 5 minutes. It's gonna be all blood and guts. It's
my gosh, dude. Yeah, don't worry. It's gonna get to that. It's gonna get to the good, the gore, and not the sex scene on that, dude.
The Jamaican voodoo cartel breaks in, kills him because they saw that they're vulnerable now. All his first lieutenant is now dead.
Yeah, they killed those like 5 guys, so the cartel is just wiped out.
Yeah,
that's it. El Scorpio's gone, so
El Scorpio's not ready anymore.
They cut the head off the Hydra.
That's what they did.
And the Predator kills the voodoo gang members,
right? And
he strings them up.
Which some of the most ridiculous kills in the world. Like there's the
spear kill.
They do like the cutting is, man, it's hard
I think
to
it's
follow.
What you talk about though, I think it's the editing that they had to do to make it R. They had to have a certain number of their kills off screen.
Yes.
But they comes up behind if you pay attention in the scene where he comes up behind the guy and like brings his claws out and picks the dude up off the ground with it.
Classic
that guy
Predator.
is holding his gun like this and like shooting, and it's like, wait, nobody caught this? Like, come on, like he's literally
Shoots his partner in the
just like
chest.
you would walk around holding a gun, and he's just shooting it.
It's too heavy. It's too heavy. I can't lift it.
Oh,
They do
God.
this. The scene has some awesome Predator kills though with his new gadgets, like the net that he shoots.
Oh, that
is
terrifies
pressurized.
me, dude.
He's
Oh,
like Cyrax.
God.
He's like
Yeah.
Cyrax from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
shoots that
I
weird.
think that's where they got the inspiration for
he's
that.
got
shoots that weird like spear thing.
And then
The
his
tip of the
frisbee,
spear?
and then his like hand
The
frisbee.
disc.
I never understood in any of the movies that he uses the spear though. Why is the spear camouflaged when he's holding it?
But not when he's
Maybe
like,
it's like a
Is
like
it-
a suit thing,
It's
like
like-
Iron Man with
I
the
think
armor.
it's like I think it's like electromagnetic kind of like
It bends light.
right. That's
They explain it in the first one that he bends light.
around it. Yeah.
And then they explain it at the end of this movie where they're like, he can bend light to, but he can't hide his scent. These are pheromones that he's giving off. And
Yeah, you know
so
Gary
he's-
Busey can smell him.
he's not just a predator.
buttered
he's
sausage.
also
He eats a lot of buttered sausage. I can find it. He eats
God,
buttered
Tyler.
sausage and likes the taste.
for all those
But-
listening on the radio.
Yeah,
This is gonna be a good
nice
one.
lick
This
lip.
will be a good one to come in and look up on the YouTubes later on.
Anyway, he fires a tip of the spear
Right.
and it gets caught in the vent and he doesn't notice it. The predator doesn't. And when the cops break in, he just bails. Like, bye.
Which
And
honestly,
he
He's
has-
not trying to kill them cops.
And
What
he has all 4 voodoo Jamaican members strung up next to the guy that they killed.
yeah.
But they're skinned, and he just has the hole in his chest that
Yeah.
the guy stabs him with a knife.
It
And
is.
Leona, when she comes in, she makes the comment like, "Oh man, they've been torn to pieces." This is like, no, they just have like a hole in their chest. They're not like torn to pieces.
That's
They're,
good for
torn
her.
to-
Good for you.
they're still together.
Torn to pieces would have been everywhere. They're kind of singular there.
But the predator's
Upside down.
stalking Harrigan, like he's listening to him. And in that
Yeah.
scene, they talk about the only one left's King Willie. Like they keep referencing King Willie.
Really, yeah.
So
Well, you know what didn't make sense to me?
is that he
when-
tells her to set up the meeting.
Well, he tells her, and she says,
It's
"That's impossible." And then, like 5 minutes later,
No, he goes, do it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't care, do it. I don't
really,
care.
Oh, it's really probable, actually.
Yeah, and then right there, when Willie's people pull up to like take him away, smoking all the marijuana.
It reminds me of the bad guy in Saints Row 2. The
Yeah.
head of the Jamaican
Yeah,
gang
yeah.
in Saints Row 2.
Where do you
it's
think
from
they
that.
got that?
They
Yeah,
probably
they
got
bit
it
off
from
that.
that.
Yeah.
Who drives around? He constantly rolls in a limo so that nobody can find him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes
But
sense.
yeah, they,
But King Willie
he
hides in
asks-
an alley.
Bill Paxton asks Danny Glover right in front of them, "You want me to follow you?"
Yeah.
He's like, "No."
Yeah. You know how to keep a secret, don't
So
you?
they get kicked out of this crime scene for being somewhere they're not supposed to be. And Danny Glover tells his partner, "You stay here. We're
Yeah.
going to come back at 1.
Danny
but
boy.
Don't go in there without me. Wait
Yeah.
for me." And he doesn't wait for him. And he goes and he's climbing into the vent to get the piece of the spear, and the predator attacks him.
Yeah.
Well, that's the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
Why does the predator attack this?
He has his
dude?
gun.
and why
No,
is
but he does not have his gun. He's by himself in a room, reaching for this.
He
like,
wanted his
thing.
spear back.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. And then he like appears to him where he grabs onto his arm while it's camouflaged, and
Yeah.
he's falling off the ledge, and the predator becomes visible, and Danny falls,
and
and
then
it
he grabs him again.
yeah, and then he goes for his gun, and that's when the predator kills him.
See, yeah.
Maybe he's just trying to help him.
It's like,
You
hey, I'm
want
gonna
this?
freak you out so bad. Just don't use your gun. Okay?
The worst part is that's where you see his
That's how he
mimic
talks.
ability, where he can
We do,
mimic
just like
voices. Where he does the Danny Glover. He goes, "Danny boy," and he turns around and falls out of the.
You know,
thing.
it's a great thing that like Ray Romano wasn't in this movie, and then the Predator was like,
Danny boy.
yeah, hey buddy, oh you almost fell there. Let me just pick you on up. That's
You
what
got
it's kind of like
the
Pee-wee.
real punishment is you have to sit in the police station with my mother. Everybody loves me. Everybody loves the predator.
But I did. So I have to ask the bigger questions because like most of these scenes are just all right. Then this guy gets killed and his kid. This guy gets killed his kid. This guy gets his head ripped off. This guy gets stabbed. It's basically watch, rinse, repeat over and over again for about 2 hours. But I have to ask. Is the Predator actually good at what he does?
Yeah.
But is he?
Well, so
he has to use camouflage.
Okay, so
That's what makes him good.
He has to use like his
Humans hunt deer and they're good at it.
But even evolutionary, like he just sees in infrared.
It's his mask.
But yeah, his mask allows him to
So there's a big debate. There was a big question about that. Why does this predator see in infrared and the other one saw just red?
Okay.
Like their vision's red. Well, their normal vision, they see red. Like they see thermal. But the mask allows them to see like the infrared spectrum. Like it enhances their already like the regular predators just see thermal and it's all red. There's no.
But if you take away all the gadgets, all the infrared,
He
all that
still
stuff.
has the giant mouth. He could kill you.
But like, yeah, he could. I'm just saying,
and he's like
it's just
7 feet tall.
But like, is it a fair fight? Because isn't that the whole Predator's thing? Is that like, oh, like he wants to be challenged by his.
He just
prey.
wants to hunt.
Yeah,
And
he just hunting.
The rules. What are the rules though?
Hey, they lost both of these.
Honorable.
In case you didn't realize, they lost both times.
Exactly though.
Well, the lore is
They're
that they
looking
want,
for the toughest bad.
Yeah.
Like
The lore is they want.
if I put you with all those gadgets out in the woods against Arnold Schwarzenegger as Dutch,
Yeah.
you'd probably lose too.
But against Arnold
The
Schwarzenegger.
goal-
but like,
Exactly.
The
But
goal
that's
that
what I'm
I
saying.
read
They're looking
through,
for
like,
the toughest prey.
comics and things like that is they're
they
looking.
lose.
Yeah, but they're looking for an honorable death. They're like the human equivalent of Spartans. Like their biggest glory is to die in
Okay.
battle.
Okay.
So they hunt because they want
And
the
this
best
one
prey.
So they're
There's a
hunting.
young one.
And it's a different-
They talk about
and
that.
it's a different style of predator.
And they're hunting in hopes to have an honorable death.
Yeah.
In that, because I've watched actually several of these kind of Predator movies, and like the lore keeps changing.
Well,
I think
the best.
well, after you watch this one, don't until like
Just stop.
Prey or
Just
the
stop.
Predator.
Just
like,
stop.
There's a lot of bad movies in there.
yeah, but
lot.
So just as another example, a lot. But like another example of it is like, okay, well, where's the the rules and the lines? Because so Danny Boy dies.
Danny Boy dies. Yeah, we're
Which
getting to that part.
It's completely washed over.
You're right.
Like, there's
So
no
Danny Boy dies,
moment for it at all.
One of the coolest scenes with Danny Glover is he goes insane. Like he's talking to the captain and
They're talking about
the chief
charging him with Danny's murder.
because he won't stop disobeying orders.
Yeah.
Like you disobeying
Yeah.
orders got him killed, and he's basically tells them to F off, and he sees Keys.
In the hallway.
Gary Busey's character,
Busey.
and he just runs up to him and pins him against the wall by his
Chokeslams
throat,
the
and
dude.
he's like, "I'll kill you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the guy who killed Danny, or I'll kill you if
Yeah.
you get in my way." And
This
all
is
this
really
stuff,
building
which is
up
a
your
cool
case,
scene.
bud. Yeah.
Which is a cool
Like-
scene.
Yeah.
And then he goes back to the scene and he finds the spear in Danny's hand. He was holding the tip of the spear when he died.
Oh yeah.
So that's how
Yeah.
Danny Glover gets it, and he takes it to the coroner, and she's like, "They wiped all the records. I have no idea what." And they analyze it, and they find out it's not a metal on the periodic table. I have
Love
no
that.
idea what this is.
I thought that was cool. That's a cool mystery.
And then that's when he meets with King Willie to try to figure out what's going on. And one of the coolest scenes is right after Harrigan leaves is when the Predator doesn't even try
Yeah.
with King Willie. He just drops into the water, and you see the big footprints splashing through the water.
That was a really cool effect.
Yeah.
Splashed. Yes,
And,
that was done really well for a 1990 movie.
And basically,
Yeah.
King
Yeah.
Willie tells him like it's a demon. It's not not us. We're
yeah.
not doing this.
Yeah.
And the Predator kills him. He draws his cane, which is a sword. And after that, that's when the Predator kills him. But that's when you get the spine rip. Like the first time you
that's
get.
where he takes it out. Yeah.
And then this movie takes a weird turn where the Predator climbs the building, stands out, and gets struck by lightning
And
like the
screams.
Highlander. And you might as well be yelling, "There can be only one."
There could
No,
be only
he's He-Man. I have the power. But there is a cool
The way he
scene.
climbs that building though is a little ridiculous because he's like it's obviously on wires and he's kind of like
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Yeah, it's
slower,
rough.
slow it.
It's rough.
Yeah,
This isn't a tree. I can't dig in.
Going too fast.
too fast. It's way too fast.
I'm gonna throw up. But you get a really cool scene on the ship where he cleans the spine and he cleans the skull and he pins it to the wall, and then it zooms out. And the coolest part of that scene to me is you see the big xenomorph skull above it, which means he's killed an alien, is what that means. From the Ridley Scott series, he killed an alien.
We all know that these exist in the same universe.
Well, and it leads to spoilers. It leads to Alien versus Predator.
It leads to a really bad movie.
It's a metaphor for crap movie.
Yeah.
Which again, it was like in that movie, which spoiler alert, one of the crew members teams up with the Predator and kills an alien, and then that Predator is like, "Oh, you're one of me now. We're best friends. We're gonna hang out. You want to come to my birthday party?
You guys would have
We gotta
sandwiches?
get you a mask.
We're gonna come to my birthday
We're
party.
gonna get you a mask.
We're gonna get you the whole thing. You're
We're gonna
awesome.
get you a cool helmet.
Yeah.
Can I have like that gun thing?
So that's the coolest weapon. Is he has this gun that the only laser you see in the entire movie is the Predator's weapon.
Yeah, that's like a staple. That's in the first
it's
movie. It's in this movie.
That's
It's
his
the
thing.
three, the
dots
triangle
and the triangle.
crosshair. And basically, if he shoots you with that,
Unless you're Gary Busey.
Yeah. And
Oh,
he
yeah.
put one armor plate on your chest.
No, that was Danny Glover that did that.
Oh, Gary. Oh, no. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. He
Yeah.
does. He shoots Gary, and then Gary.
well, he gets him like in the arm.
Yeah, he does his best line. He's like,
Comes
"Who-"
back later.
He's
and
like,
it's
I'm
what?
back. He's
What
like,
the hell?
Well, we're getting to that.
Yeah, sorry.
So he goes.
Well, he
so-
goes. Danny Glover goes to the cemetery
Right.
to mourn
Danny Boy.
which is the what he leaves his badge just sitting
With a picture
in
of the two of them.
cemetery.
Yeah.
He leaves an LAPD badge just laid out in a cemetery.
But the grass has already grown over it.
well, they lay sod.
And I know, but it doesn't even look like fresh, like sod. We all know what fresh sod looks like.
Whatever. Why are you trying to ruin this for us?
I'm just sorry.
Well, where
it's
you-
just like, but it was a moment. But it was like they could have had a moment, like a funeral for the police officer.
Well,
And they'd be like,
but
Danny
when-
Glover would be like, we're gonna get this.
The
guy."
Predator shows up and goes to the little kid.
There's a
He's
little
like,
kid who jumps
yes.
out of a car,
Yeah.
and he's playing with a toy Uzi,
Yeah.
and he also has candy in his pocket. And the Predator, he sees him in the tree, and the Predator drops down, and he's scanning the gun, and he realizes it's not real.
Yeah.
And the kid's like, "You want some candy?" And you hear the Predator like, "Rip, rip, rip.
Yeah.
You want some candy?"
Yeah. Which he never used again. I would have loved that if he was like, if he except with Gary Busey.
But
When he
that's where
pulled
you
out, like,
get
the
some
blade.
of the.
Yeah. Want
He
some
like,
candy?
want some candy?
That's where you get some of the the rules for the Predator.
Okay.
He doesn't kill children. He's looking for an honorable kill.
Honorable kill.
You have to have a weapon and
Yeah.
things like that. So now we get the craziest scene in the entire movie, which is the subway scene, because he tells the-
Worst.
his
Worst scene.
two
It's hard to
partners
watch.
to meet
Worst
him
scene.
at some subway stop, and they're gonna go after whatever the Gary Busey's character.
Yeah, they're going after
at the
DEA
meat
now.
locker.
Yeah.
They tracked him to the meat locker.
Meat locker.
And so there's this scene in the subway where the two other cops are on the train, and these guys are mugging a businessman. He's just sitting there with his briefcase, and they're like, "We need your money." He goes, "No need for all that." And he reaches into his briefcase, and he has a pistol.
Kudos on
And
him.
he's telling him like, "Get back! I know how to use this thing. I know how to use this thing." And then all of a sudden, just claws. Throw one
Well,
of the guys.
the guy pulls out a much bigger magnum
yeah.
and says,
Yeah.
"Mine's bigger."
Yeah.
And then they turn and the two cops say, "Drop your weapons."
Like the
freeze right,
police,
hold it
like,
right there.
everybody-
gun
And
is loaded.
every single person in the train car pulls out a gun, points it at them.
It's like a naked
Oh
gun
my
reference.
gosh, yeah.
going
It
on
did.
here?
It felt that way. It felt very like, hold on, what are we doing here? Like, with like Leslie Nielsen, like, don't call me Shirley. Kind of
Yeah.
jokes.
And then the Predator lands on top of the train, and everyone is like, "What's going on?"
And then the lights go out.
And then it turns ridiculously stupid, and you can't tell what the hell is going on.
People are just screaming
and it's like a
dying.
disco, like.
And somehow, wait, what was like
That's
that?
Sandstorm.
What was like that '97? There was like a famous '97 house music. Oh, I'm trying to think of like this is the rhythm of the night.
That says so Reebok or so Nike.
Yeah, so Reebok or so Nike. Yeah, that's it.
So, like,
Oh man,
But the Predator kills everybody in that train car.
yeah,
And this is the first
They
time
all
he's
had
killed a
guns.
civilian because they all have guns.
yeah.
So he views them as prey because you can fight, you have a gun.
You picked up the bat.
And the thing that cracks me up the most is the one cop, the happy-go-lucky, that's my middle name cop. It's my specialty.
Bill
He's
Paxton.
shooting Bill Paxton shooting the Predator with the gun, and nothing's happening. It's just bouncing off the armor, and he pulls the golf ball out of his pocket and throws the golf. The Predator.
They don't even like really make like a big deal of the golf ball before that.
I didn't understand
And
what that
then
was.
Leona,
The
when
luck.
she
He's like,
sees,
what's my specialty? And he throws the golf ball.
when she sees the golf ball, she's like, oh no, like he died. And they're like, wait, why would you make that connection?
So she goes in the subway car.
The most melancholy. Oh no.
Yeah, she's like, oh no, he's dead.
he died.
And then there's like,
Consuela from Family Guy.
then there's like a full minute of her walking,
Yeah.
just walking. And then the Predator just grabs her by the throat, lifts her off the ground, and that's when you get the scan of her body where the Predator realizes that she's pregnant,
so he doesn't kill
and
her.
then he doesn't
So-
kill her.
Are we
killing-
supposed to be
That's
rooting
right.
for this thing?
Killing
like,
a
like
Predator
Well,
is not
it's
honorable.
showing you that it has some kind of code that it
There's
it
some
lives
morals.
by.
There's
It
rules
lives
to
by
this.
It's got
reasoning.
rules. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Lives by his own rules,
Yeah.
but
He
there's rules nonetheless.
Lives by his own. Well, I guess Bill Paxton's character does talk about in the very beginning. He was trying to flirt with someone in the police station. He's like, you got to keep your hands tight. He's doing like
You
golf
just
stroke
whack it,
and, like,
baby.
and just whack it. And
You gotta
get out
tee
there.
it.
So I guess
You gotta. He
the
says
golf
you gotta
ball.
tee it high and let it fly.
Yeah,
what
that's a
he
great
says.
line.
Yeah. Tee it high, let it fly.
That's right.
That's good.
But so now
man.
all the cops are dead except Danny Glover, and because he's being so persistent, Gary Busey's character just kidnaps him. Like, got him.
Yeah.
Well, because he shows up at the meat locker.
He's like, how do you
Chasing
keep
the
finding us?
Predator.
Yes.
He's chasing the Predator
Driving, and he's like driving that
through
giant
panels.
boat
That
of a car
that tank
and-
of a Cadillac.
and looking like up at the rooftops, like he's to see the invisible predator jumping from rooftop to rooftop, like Spider-Man or something. Yeah, but he gets there, and you're right. Gary
So
Busey.
they've tracked the Predator to a meat locker because he goes there to feed.
Yeah.
That's what he eats beef because it's like flesh, I guess. And
He's an American.
they have these.
Red-blooded.
Yeah, they.
red-blooded
It
American.
turns out.
He's neon green blooded American.
It turns out that the Predator is, or the Gary Busey's character is the head of like an alien task force,
Yeah.
and
They're tasked with capturing the Predator.
the Predator, so they
For
can
the
use
technological
him for
advances.
military implications.
That's the task.
And they have the information from Dutch from the first Predator that that's they know he leaves a scent behind. They know that he sees an infrared, and they've set up this scenario because they found where he's going to feed.
And that they're harmed by cold. Like,
Okay.
they're susceptible to extreme cold.
To cold.
Well, not only that, but they're using the cold to mask themselves against his.
They have the
infrared
suits.
vision.
They have the suits that hide all of their body heat.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yes.
And then they spray.
yeah.
They spray like pheromones in the air so that when they use ultraviolet light, so it'll stick to him and they can see him.
They can see where he is.
So the Predator figures out that he's being followed
all very smart.
because one of them makes a noise, and this is where the wet noodle comes in for Baldwin's character because Danny Glover's like, he knows.
Yeah.
He knows.
He
They
knows.
stopped.
Do
He turned
something.
around.
Yeah, tell them.
Tell them.
And nobody's saying anything.
Yeah.
Well, Gary Busey's like, he knows you're there. He knows you're there because Danny Glover just takes over and he puts on the headset and starts yelling to Gary Busey's character, like, he knows you're there. He's coming for you. He knows you're there, and he's like, get off the line,
Keep this-
clear the channel.
Keep
Like,
this channel clear.
what the hell? So then Gary Busey's, Danny Glover's character is like, you know what? Screw this. I'm going in.
It's not like he got like Danny Glover picked up the headset and started doing his 10-minute stand up or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Like they were like, yo,
He's like, he's gonna kill you. He's coming to kill you.
he's not like, after this, do y'all want to go to a baseball game? I got a little kid who sees angels.
Lance Bass has started.
That's so
We
crazy.
could hit up McDonald's after this. It'd be good. We'll get a Predator Whopper. Sorry, that's Burger
But
King. Isn't it?
it doesn't matter. Tomato,
Royale
tomato.
Or some Royale with cheese.
Yeah, Royale with cheese.
So Danny Glover's basically like, I'm going to go save him.
Yeah.
And he goes in and he's losing that fight pretty bad. And Gary Busey's character, who has already been shot by the Predator, comes back and hits him with the liquid nitrogen gun
Yeah.
and slows him down.
Love the way he jumps out too.
And then they go through this big elaborate fight scene where Danny
that-
Glover gets a hold of the disc. that
No,
the-
you don't. You get the awesome scene where the Predator throws the disc,
Oh yeah,
and it goes
kills.
through all the cows hanging,
Yeah.
all the sides of beef, and then it cuts Gary Busey in half at the end,
which you don't really get to see.
Yeah,
but it happens.
You see it
you see the 2 parts of his body.
And then the disc flies back, and then the predator kind of leaves because he starts getting shot up by Danny Glover, and he leaves. Now Danny Glover is chasing him through the city, and they end up like falling off the little roof, and the predator's hanging on with the disc stuck into the side of the concrete, which this part was like, what the hell's going on? Because the predator reaches up and starts to set off the nuke thing that he has.
He has a self-destruct sequence,
like he uses in the first movie.
From the first movie,
and it's enough to level
and
30 city blocks. I think is what they say.
Yeah, it was something huge.
Danny Glover's reaching for the disc and like somehow just like keeps able to get longer and get closer.
He's afraid of heights.
What are you talking about, dude? Like
he's a Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah, he's holding onto one of your arms. Like you don't. How are you getting further?
Well, what I want to know,
finally gets hold of that disc, and how does he get half of that thing out of the concrete that it's buried in?
You can't imagine how tough that must have been. But I mean, he's a big guy. He's 6'3".
And right before that, the arm thing goes off. He cuts the predator's arm off. And,
and he can't finish the sequence.
Yeah, and he starts to fall, and he lands, and he grabs that pipe, and it shoots him backwards and slams him through the wall of an apartment into the bathroom.
And I thought this was a pretty cool scene where you basically see how they...
Yeah, except it makes no sense because in the first movie, he pulls out like this whole kit when he gets injured, where he like mixes this alien stuff together and like spackles it in there and screams because it hurts so bad.
Yeah.
And this is using like drywall and tile and
I didn't
glass
get this at all.
to heal himself with.
It's so he can make the gel.
I know, but I went back twice to be like, did he just rip did he just rip tile off the wall?
That's all he
and
did.
Now he's mixing it into an
breaks
alien
the
jelly.
mirror.
Yeah. And he uses like the mirror for like a table, and I'm like, well, now he's just crafting.
Yeah,
he's just
doing arts and crafts.
He's a crafty bitch.
And then you get the really funny lady with the broom, which dude, that predator breaks through, like smashes the wall of her apartment out.
Yeah,
and then
she's like,
when he screams, she comes out of her room with a broom. Like she didn't call the police.
Yeah,
when someone slammed through the wall of her apartment.
I think I would have noticed. If 300-pound, 6 foot,
like 7 foot tall, guy's humongous
creature came through my bathroom wall.
Seriously,
at like midnight, in the middle of the night. Yeah,
so he uses that to heal his arm where he's cut, and then he starts running. And Danny Glover,
he heals the big bullet wound in his chest.
Because Danny Glover got him a couple times,
and he's screaming when he does that because it hurts because he lights it on fire.
Super hot.
I don't imagine
crap.
It looks like icy hot. Rubbing on there.
I don't imagine it tickled.
No,
that would be great if he like turned.
The lady's standing there with the broom, and this guy just breaks through everything and leaves. And Danny Glover's like, I got it. He's injured. And she's like, I don't think he cares.
Yeah. You just keep going. Buddy.
No, he says, I'm a cop.
Oh, and she goes, I don't think he gives a damn. Yeah. That's what it is.
And then they start running, and then you get the dumbest scene of the whole movie where he falls down.
Under their apartment complex.
He falls down the elevator shaft, like out of the bottom of the elevator. I don't know how far the fall is, but it looks like he's fallen a good day. And he catches himself in a hole.
Holding the disc. Holding the disc.
What are you talking about? Like his arms are just like whoop, or ripped off.
I was on a playground one time and I wasn't paying attention. This was recent. This was like 3 years ago when they were real little, and there was a hole in the middle with a ladder. And I just wasn't paying attention. I backed up into that thing, and I caught myself like that with my elbows and my armpits. In that hole. It was the worst pain.
Oh, yeah.
For like a week. I couldn't put my arms fully down. It hurt so bad.
Hey,
so if you fell 30 feet down an elevator shaft.
With an arm that's been basically ripped off because the predator sank his claws into his arm.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, and then he goes onto the ship, which is underneath there.
Yeah.
And the ship looks so cool, except for the fact that they used all the dry ice in all of the world to put fog in
and smoke machines.
Yeah, it was like, what's going on? And then so it's their big fight.
Just the prop director be like, how much dry ice do you want?
All of it.
And he finds Danny's
all of it. All of it.
He finds Danny's skull and not Danny's, but the other cop's skull and the voodoo guy's skull.
Yeah, and the xenomorph.
Danny sees the xenomorph.
And him and the predator have a fight in the ship. There's like these pillars that he's hiding behind, and he eventually stabs him with the disc.
Yeah,
and he's like, you said it. Shit happens, and he.
That's
Now,
right.
I forgot to mention this, but when he's hanging onto his arm and he cuts his arm off, we also get the callback in the meat locker before that where he hits him so many times with the big gun that the predator falls down.
Yeah.
And he's down and he comes over and that's when he pulls the predator's helmet off and you see his face for the first time.
Ugly
and he says, "You are one ugly mother," and the predator grabs him and says, "Motherfucker," and that's a callback to the first Predator
See, the
movie.
first one, yeah.
Because
Now-
Carl Weathers.
But I
is
really-
it? No, I think it's Carl
No,
Weathers.
It's
It's Arnold.
It's Arnold.
Isn't it? Yeah. Arnold.
but I don't understand why they gave the predator like a vagina mouth in this one.
Different
Because he
style
does
of
not
predators.
have a vagina mouth in the first movie at all. Like,
He's a different
is it
predator.
a female predator?
It's a different
They're
predator.
supposed. They're different predators. So
No, definitely there are
Yeah.
different
Oh,
predators.
no,
but like,
we're not questioning that. We're just,
yeah, like what's with the vagina mouth? And whose idea? Whose
oh,
conceptual idea
whose
was?
brilliance was
Hey,
the?
you know what this predator needs? A vag in its mouth.
And
Like,
it's-
let's not do that.
and it's like medically accurate.
Yeah,
Like, it's
yeah,
not. It's
yeah.
not a play on it at all. It is
Yeah.
just what it is, and it's
Like-
yeah.
It's like Pinsir from Pokemon.
This is ridiculous.
Don't get, yeah, I mean, how many models of that mask did we go through where they're like, no, make it more of a vagina,
Yeah.
just right in the middle.
No, you know how a lady's part looks? That's what I want to see. When those mandibles move.
That's the art director
I need
coming
to
in.
unsheath. I need to unsheath it. You know what it's like.
That's
Come
the art
on.
director coming in. You know what? Lady parts.
Yeah.
Gross, dude.
I need to see
Gross.
some lady bits.
Oh my god, dude.
This will get us an NC-17 rating.
This will happen. Yeah, this is the
But
one that goes
so
viral.
they're fighting, and the predator's got him reeling, and he uses the disc that he had hanging to surprise him and stabs him in the midsection, and
Like rakes it up.
yeah, he's like he's messing this predator. up.
yeah.
And that's when the other predators appear.
Yeah.
And they all become uncamouflaged, and there's like probably 7 to 10.
Six, yeah.
Like
It's a good
there's
amount.
a lot
Good
of them.
amount.
And
It's a club.
the cool interesting fact is Danny Glover was a big basketball fan, and he actually got a bunch of the LA Lakers to come and
no
play
way.
predators
Well,
because
they're
of their
huge.
height.
That
Yeah,
way.
they're all
gigantic.
massive. And there's an outtake where they went to lunch or they went to break, and they convinced a bunch of the stage guys to stick around, and they filmed this whole like short video of them dancing as the Predators with Danny Glover, and they gave it to the director as like a
It's like
little
Men in
joke
Black.
or whatever.
Oh, we
It's
need
like
to
the end of
find
Men in
that.
Black.
Yeah, you can see it on the internet.
Yeah,
It's out
I'm
there.
gonna find it and post it
it's
to our
pretty
page
funny.
because that sounds great. I wanna
Danny
put that
Glover
on
has
our
one of
page.
his coolest lines in the entire movie at that part because all these predators are surrounding him.
Yeah.
And he picks up the disc and he's like, "Who's next?"
Yeah. This is the
I
last day, Bob.
just envision Chris Evans like, "I can do this all day."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't hear no bell.
Then they pick up their
They pick
fallen
up the
brother and they
hunter.
walk him away, and then
That chieftain turns around and hands him like a
Throws him.
flintlock pistol.
yeah, from 1750, and it
No,
was like
yeah.
Raphael
Something.
So the-
We're gonna see it in Predator 3, I guess, that story if that movie ever comes out.
Oh gosh, yes.
So the
Can we get it?
implication
Let's
is
do
that
it.
the predators have been hunting on Earth since the 1700s.
Yeah, for a while.
They just hunt.
Well, there's the new
what
one
they
that
do.
came out. I think it's called Prey.
Yeah, it's actually good,
And it's good.
Yeah. I
haven't
I
seen
really
it.
like it.
and it's set in like the 1500s.
yeah, yeah.
There you go. There's the
Yeah.
callback to the pistol.
Yeah, and it's natives.
Yeah, but
so
it's like Native Americans. He's like fighting Indians.
it's pretty sweet
Yeah.
actually. It's really cool. I like
and
it.
it's like a girl's the main character, and she's pretty badass. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
But,
I liked it as a
The,
Predator
the
movie.
funniest part about this was to me they have a lot of respect for Danny Glover, the Predators, because they he bested their warrior, their hunter, so he gives them the gift, and then they just go start up the ship, and they're like,
We'll see.
"Good luck. Hope you can find the door, because if not, you're riding with us." And I always thought it was cool. And one of the guys that reviewed it that I was watching brought it up also that I think it's I can't remember. The Predator, or it's like Predators, where they're on the Predator's home planet, and it's
Yeah, and isn't
what's the
Adrian
guy's name?
Brody
Yes,
in it?
yes.
Okay, yeah.
And they find like the Lawrence Fishburne, I think, is the
Lawrence Fishburne.
and he takes the. It would have been so cool if that guy took his the helmet off and it was Danny Glover.
Oh,
It would have been such a cool callback. I don't know if it would have made the movie any better because the movie's it's okay. It's not the worst one. Like
I mean, Danny Glover, he's still
all those
around?
Alien vs Predator movies, like
They're not considered canon.
good.
Yeah,
Because you could fire them out of a cannon.
But the cool scene, the cool part at the end, well, like you said, they're setting up Predator 3. Alec Baldwin's character runs to him and he's like, "We were so close."
Not Alec.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
Is it Alec or Adam?
It's got to be Adam because
Yeah,
Alec
Alec.
Baldwin
Alec is
Okay.
yeah.
is on trial for murdering somebody.
Oh yeah.
still happening.
He runs up and he says, "We were so close. Why'd you let him get away?"
Yeah.
And Danny Glover looks at the pistol. He goes, "You'll get another chance." Like they're coming back for this.
Don't worry, boy.
I guess because as a character you could read into that. Well, like this is really old, and they've been here a lot, haven't they? Oh,
Well, they were 10 years ago. They were here.
because you understand. Okay, well, it happened 10 years ago, and it's got to happen another 10.
And it's supposed to show their code. Like, you killed one of ours. We respect you. Here's like a trophy
There
for
you go.
killing the predator.
Here's your
'Cause they-
consolation
yeah,
prize.
'cause
I don't get like a
we're not
predator
gonna
skull.
we're
I
not
don't
gonna
get
let
his-
you we're not gonna let you rip his skull out.
Yeah, I don't get his vagina mouth.
Can I get a mask?
No, you wouldn't see that because it's
You
just
don't
a
get
skull.
that one.
I think a really cool scene was when when he's fighting with Gary Busey and Danny Glover, the Predator, and because he's getting ready to shoot Danny Glover with the gun, and he's got the laser trained on him.
Yeah,
And Gary Busey like gets up and says whatever,
yeah.
and the Predator turns and the gun stays on the and then he just shoots it as he walks away, and it's when it hits the metal that because apparently putting like
Metal
one piece
stops
of metal
alien.
plating can stop an exploding
Yeah.
round.
It's like
a
Warzone.
drill.
He put his plates on before
Yeah,
he went
Yeah,
in there.
exactly. He
It's like
played
a-
it up.
It's like
He
a
played
drill
it up.
bullet, though. Like
He had the
He's
the
ready
plate.
to fight
He
the
had the
Mega
golden
Abomination.
plate from zombies
Yeah.
that refills
Sorry,
itself.
Phil. He's gonna be good.
Oh, that's brilliant, man. So we're well into an hour in this, but I gotta. Is there any other points? Anything else you missed about anything you want to share with this? Because like, I don't know. Would you recommend it? Would you say
yeah.
go back,
Yeah.
give it a shot?
Watch the first
definitely-
one first.
It's definitely entertaining. I mean, it's not terrible.
It's not winning awards, but it's fun.
Right, no,
it's
dude.
fun.
Yeah, it's super
very
fun.
fun.
You get cool callbacks to this movie in a few video games. They made a Predator game called Predator Concrete Jungle, where you're in New York City and you're hunting as the Predator, and you're not supposed to kill innocent people. Like, you get penalized for killing.
Okay.
Yeah, in the game they're marked as blue.
So what is
you
that?
don't.
Is that SNES?
I think it's
or is
PlayStation
it-
2.
Okay. It's his early 2000s.
Yeah, and then you get a recent callback in Mortal Kombat X. The Predator showed up as a guest character. So did the Xenomorph, but the Predator showed up as a guest character.
Yeah.
And you get a cool callback because Jax has a Carl Weathers skin, so he does like some of the lines from the movie, and Johnny Cage is like, "Game over, man. Game over."
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers.
Man, yeah.
We lost a great one,
But
He was so good in just everything.
yeah.
dude. In
And-
everything, he made Rocky. Like without him, Rocky is not the
He's-
same.
It's not.
He's Chubbs.
And even
He was Chubbs.
even in his last
Chubbs
thing,
Peas.
yeah, Chubbs and big, yeah, and
He was in the
Gilmore.
Mandalorian, and
But his
yeah,
last
Star
thing
Wars.
in the Mandalorian, I loved him in it.
Yeah,
I was like,
he's
he-
fantastic.
He brought such regal
Yeah.
to that character, and it uplifted the show.
Yeah, he's
I-
a
I'll say,
fantastic
yeah.
actor.
He
But-
brought it better.
Bo Raicho, one of the characters in that game, they have intro dialogue, and he just does the clicks. He doesn't
Okay.
talk. He just does like like that stuff.
He's a
and,
pig.
Yeah, sorry, the
That was good.
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah, that.
Predator clicks.
And
that was him.
Bo Raicho does the thing where he's like, "You're one ugly motherfucker." But when you kill somebody and like you don't do a fatality on them, you'll see him stab the character and it'll cut. And when it says Predator wins, he sticks the skull onto the ship and he's like sitting in a chair. After.
Right.
I'm like, oh, that's a cool callback
All
to
right.
that.
All right.
So
Well,
Predator's been represented pretty good in video games.
Yeah.
The first Predator kind of sucks.
I kind of would like if they make another Predator game. I think that'd be pretty sweet. actually.
The NES Predator game sucks.
Oh yeah. Well,
You're
I can
just
imagine.
Arnold in like a pink jumpsuit
well.
and you fight like Predator heads
Oh, that's
as
it.
bosses. Yeah, it sucks.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, thanks guys for listening.
yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed it. Check us out on Instagram. Check out our, all the socials, your YouTube, your Facebooks, your TikToks. Tick-a-talking?
Tick-a-talking,
All right, cool. Yeah, tick-a-talk.
And we got a
Check
couple
this
of things
cup out
for you.
that Matt's got.
Yeah, so this is one of our favorite things on our Etsy shop, and I was like, I got to make sure this is quality, and so I ordered one, and it is. It's a nice weight. The prints on it's pretty solid, man. So this is one of our throwbacks to the 90s. And I do have a challenge for you guys, actually. Whoever's brave enough to go and venture into our YouTube account on Nostalgia Land, whoever finds and comments first how many Predators are in this room with us right now, which they're in several places, in comments first how many there are, I'll send you a discount for our Etsy shop.
Nice.
And then whoever can tell me, first one to comment, what movie is playing behind me that hilariously throughout this episode, both your eyes and your faces have gone dead. I know, and I noticed, they're watching the movie behind me. They're zoned out for just like 2 seconds.
Just because it's a bad movie doesn't mean there's not good parts.
No, I know. It's just hilarious how you both have the same I'm watching the movie face. And I knew I could tell when it's coming up behind me. So whoever comments to say which movie of these, and very specifically which movie is playing behind us, I will also send you a discount to our Etsy shop. And if you can tell me all, if someone can tell me all three, or sorry, tell me all of those, that'd be great. I'll maybe I'll send up 50% or something like that.
All right.
Send something out, or just a special gift. I'll see what I can do. But comment and subscribe. Yep. We would love for you guys to participate with us as always.
Yeah, check us out on YouTube. Subscribe, turn on that notification bell. All those things that all those people say.
All that.
We appreciate you tuning in. And seriously, if you have any ideas, if you have any thoughts, shoot us a message, shoot us a DM. We'd love to hear from you, the fans, the crowd.
Yeah.
To let us know what you want to hear, what you like, what you don't like. We really appreciate you, and thanks for listening. Till next time,
I'm Matt.
I'm Trey.
And I'm Tyler. Cowbunga.